Okay, coming back now, net present value analysis, ways to assess at the C-suite should we choose this project. So net present value is one way to do that. Net present value, NPV, it refers to the difference between the value of cash today and the value of cash in the future. If this project is going to cost me $100,000 over 2 years, right, then my project is really costing me, say it's 8% interest, it's really costing the company $120,000, etc. That's the essence of net present value. It compares the value of money today to the value of money in the future when I can begin a return on it. So this would be an example of net present value calculations. There is a formula that goes along with it. You can see it listed here on the slide. Don't worry about it. You as the project manager would turn to your budget person, your finance person on your team that does cost management, and ask them to determine this for you and give you an analysis, as well as the detailed NPV calculations along the way. Right? So there's some considerations to consider, right? Some organizations refer to investment years for project costs, year 0 instead of year 1. That's up to your company. The discount rate can be applied. This is all up to your financial budget manager, but they need to use the corporate process and they need to apply it consistently. That's what you would want to ensure. Okay. And another net present value. It is described further in the book if you want to figure it yourself. Okay. In addition to net present value, though, let's move on to the next one. It's called return on investment. Now, this is the result of subtracting project costs from the project benefits and then dividing that by the costs. That is a number you can use for your return on investment. So in this example, the project costs were $110, and the costs were $100. The benefits were $110, and so it's 110 minus 100 divided by 100. Your return on investment is 10%. Okay. This also is similar to IRR, internal rate of return. That's another way to assess your project. So now we have net present value, we have return on investment, and we have IRR, internal rate of return. It's basically your finance person will figure out an interest rate. If you have project A or project B, project A may have an IRR or return on investment like a CD at a bank of 8%. But this project will have an IRR, an internal rate of return of 12%. Well, I'm going to pick the project at the C-suite level that gives me 12% return. Bigger is better. Okay. A fourth form of business analysis at the C-suite level is payback period. If I give you $10 because you forgot your lunch money, when do you want that? When do I want that money back? Well, ideally, I want it now. I want a short payback period, but I got it. You're here without it and you don't have a card to go to the ATM machine. So I'd like to get it tomorrow or the next time I see you at a minimum, right? Payback period, shorter is better, okay? And so your project will maybe cost $100,000. How soon, what's the payback period on the money I spent to generate this project? And this would be a sample chart on the payback period. This is discussed further in the literature in the book, and you can find it online as well. I do like to use template files, right? And so the business case, whoops, let me go back up. There we go. The business case becomes, I'm going to use my drawing tool here. The business case, that becomes one of those tools that you want to use in project management. The C-suite is going to produce a business case for you. From the business case, you're going to develop your project charter. right? This is what you do at the start of a project. If I'm a project manager and I'm told to start a project and develop the charter, the first thing I'm going to ask for is the business case, because it's going to have all of these things already worked out in it, including the corporate strategy, what they're trying to achieve. Another way I can assess a project or determine whether I should use it is a weighted scoring model. It's a tool like any others. And what we do is we create, let me see if I can make my pen work. We create, it's give me Fitzwario, a weighted scoring model. It's just easier to look at one on the next slide. So here's a weighted scoring model. What I decided was my criteria would be, these are the most important things to me as a project manager as I'm implementing the business case and developing my charter. These are the criteria I want to look at. So I give each a weight. They're not all the same. This is worth 25% to me. This is one of the most important right here, number 2, and this is equally important in the company's mind, right? And I'm going to then give each item a score, but I'm going to weight it by that which will change the outcome. And so frankly, trip 3 in this case, in a weighted scoring model, is the one I would choose along the way. Okay. Balanced scorecard. Like I said, this is a product of Harvard, and there's a lot of good information right here at balancedscorecard.org. But it ties together your corporate vision with productivity. It's a methodology that drives a connection between the C-suite vision and your decision-making day-to-day on the project. It's a great tool. Here's a sample balanced scorecard strategy map. This is detailed in the book to my satisfaction, so enjoy that there, okay? And so every project is about problems, opportunities, and directives. Problems, of course, we know are undesirable, right? Opportunities are chances. It's positive. We're happy to have an opportunity as a project. So I want to maximize any opportunities, and I want to minimize problems along the way. It helps to minimize them if I can anticipate them in advance. Okay, so I will put out directives that are going to help me manage those, minimize problems, maximize opportunities. And then I want to be concerned about the project time frame. This is another consideration for project selection. Can it be done within a period that is useful to the company and to fulfill that strategic gap? Again, this is all being decided and put inside that business case document that you're going to use to develop your charter along the way. Okay. The C-suite, in putting out these documents, make the project a priority. And the company's going to have project 1, project 2, project 3, project 4. You can't afford all of them. So these, for this year, become the priority, right? Let's see if I can get my pen to write. These become the priority. These we put aside in case money comes out later. Bam, we found some new money. Or we can implement them next year. But you've got to prioritize the projects that you can achieve. And so recall that a program, as I said, was a group of related projects, right? So when I implemented the Air Force inspection system, I implemented several different related projects. I had a project to develop headquarter policy for the inspection system. I had a project to develop virtual inspections across the command, and a number of others, and they were related. And as I improved one project or found a lesson learned, I was able to easily apply it to the other projects because they were related. Okay. And here are some example reasons for the construction firm for creating housing programs, right? This is a program. When you create a program with several projects underneath, you expect normally to save time, money, and increase your authority, because now you have a program manager making sure that the projects are aligned and much more efficient along the way. Okay, and so there are various approaches you can use to creating programs if that's your goal. And there's more on that in the book. I really want to focus on project management. I'm not focusing on program or portfolio, but you need to be aware of them, because as a project manager, if I have a program manager, that's a good resource I can use, or the other project managers, or if I have a portfolio management function above that, that umbrella function. Remember, a portfolio is the umbrella function, and a program is below it, and a program is going to have several projects, right? And so these are resources for me, the program or the portfolio above me, that I can utilize. I can go here and use the program, if I can get my pen to work, or go here and tap the portfolio management for ideas, for templates, for resources, etc. So that really ties in project portfolio management as well. Again, a great slide on what went right. I recommend pausing and reviewing that. There is detailed in your course book. Okay, and there are various approaches to creating a portfolio management. This course is really about project management, right? So notice the portfolio here up the top. There are various categories. A portfolio will assign the project manager, right, through HR to the project, right? That's how the project manager likely will get assigned, right? And they'll have various other functions along the way, but that's really what I wanted to emphasize. Okay, and so the rest of these are really just review. Oh, this is a good portfolio risk map. So what they've done is they've said, well, here's the project risk, and here's the relative value, right? Not every project is going to have the same return on investment. So based on risk, it has this project would have low risk, right? But low value. Who cares? You notice the risk is high here, but the value is huge, right? The biggest of all of them. Now here's a project with a ton of risk and a little bit of value, but a ton of risk. I'm probably not going to pursue that one this year. I kind of like this one, and I kind of like this one. This one has oops, if I can get my pen to work. I'm going to try it again. This one, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So we just have to bear with it. Anyhow, the little dot next to the big one I drew, okay? And it's kind of like deciding what fruit to eat, right? Difficult or untasty on that spectrum. All right, so that pretty much wraps up our conversation for this week. I look forward to seeing you online. I'll also use this as an opportunity to remind you, read the book Solid Gold, the PMBOK guide, read the course book, Solid Gold, right? Material there. You will really enjoy it. I really love this book along the way. The author is somebody that is easy to respect in my mind. And so I hope you are enjoying it too. Her name is Kathy Schwalb, and she does just some amazing stuff in the field of project management. So enjoy Kathy's book. This was chapter 2, and I will see you online.